Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
Morning, everybody. Simon and Lorra here. It's episode 33 of Hostel. Husband and wife sentenced to life. And we've literally just rolled out of bed. In a bit of a rush today because we're going to Windsor Castle.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
This is your big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a quickie, and it's going to be unedited, believe it or not. Even if you listen to it and think they sound like we're waffling, I do edit some bits out.
You have to, don't you?
Yeah. But I don't think I'm going to have time today because this is going to be a much shorter walk. I want to start by doing a quick mention to it being 9/11. It's 11th of September, and it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, which is obviously everywhere. Documentaries, news programmes, retrospectives in newspapers. Where were you?
Just over there.
Where?
Just where, pretty much 30 seconds from where we are now.
Snocking Woods?
No, not in
You were in Snocking Woods?
No, in my house.
That's where you were when it happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're very close.
I wasn't at work for some reason, but yeah.
Well, you've heard this anecdote a million times, but I was in the Viz office, Viz Comic, which is a British institution. I'd done a little bit of work for them when I was on radio in UK, and they were all friends of mine. And I'd been to a cinema preview, and I ended up going down to their offices in the middle of Newcastle after. I thought it were all a joke because they showed me stills on their computers, but they're the same computers they used to do all the computer graphics and photoshopping on.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a bit of an elaborate ruse to be doing at that time of day.
No.
But yeah, so anyway, 20 years. And it's passed in a blink of an eye, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It certainly has.
But everyone's got a story about that time. Got pulled up by your dad, Dennis, yesterday because we've been getting a lot of things wrong on this podcast.
Well, you're interested in waters and seas and...
Well, I mean, I'm interested in being factually correct.
Yeah.
So I've been calling the river that goes from Southampton to where we are the Solent.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Solent. Turns out I'm wrong.
Again, even as you're saying it, it means... I know it should mean something to me, but it just is the sea to me.
But Laura, you wouldn't stand with a bunch of Chinese tourists on side Houses of Parliament, and one of them went, "Excuse me, what's that called?" And you went, "Oh, who cares? It's just water."
Yeah, no. River and a sea, that's totally different. That I can understand, I can tell you. But...
Well, the water that goes from Southampton to where we are is called Southampton Water, which I had no idea about. The Solent is the water between the Isle of Wight and where we are. And the opposite side of that is the English Channel. So, I know now.
Well, surely it's all part of the same sea though, right?
Well, by that reckon, yeah, pretty much every bit of water that's not landlocked.
Well, exactly.
Should we start calling everything the Earth Sea? We're just walking down to Earth Sea, but before that we've got to cross a little bridge that's going across the Earth Sea, which was a stream in the woods. Anyway, I'll be getting that right from now on. I can guarantee you that.
Right, so yesterday, what did we do? We
went for his COVID day 8 test.
Oh gosh, we did. That seems...
Didn't it feel like a long time ago?
Yeah.
We popped to Asda for the first time together.
Well, you asked for your special boy.
Got me special man to do me nose
man.
swab.
Yep.
He's a boy to me though.
Yeah.
A little boy.
Was he still as soft?
She never felt a thing.
Yeah.
quickly popped to Asda to get some last bits for Leo. I say last bits, as if. And he was acting like a broody teenager because it was a big day for him yesterday.
Yep.
And this will sound like nothing. He's 18. By that point, most people who are living in England have lived quite a varied life. But he's lived quite a sheltered life in Dubai, and yesterday he did a load of firsts, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He was very excited.
Yeah, just wanted to get away from us. He was meeting one of his new roommates at university. He's in a little shared flat. They all get their individual ensuite rooms. And he was meeting Lynn.
Yeah.
One of the girls he's going to be living with.
She actually doesn't live too far from Southampton, so...
And even closer to the COVID test centre.
Yeah.
But anyway, we dropped him at Chandler's Ford train station.
We did, yeah, and...
Now, go on.
No, I was going to say, I wasn't nervous about it, because, you know, he is 18 and he can... It was more... I know... See, Leo is very academically super smart. Common sense, zero. So
the Latin term for it is Daftus Brushus. He is daft as a brush.
Yeah, so my thought was, right, is he going to get on the right train? Is he going to go the wrong way?
He nearly didn't, did he? He nearly got on the first train that came, which went north, not south.
But luckily, he did ask somebody, which I didn't think he'd do, so that was a good tick.
And I thought, you know what would be nice for him? Give him 30, 40 quid. Give him 30, 40 quid. And I was going to have the chat with him. Listen, if you see something you want, and while you're in town, this girl you're meeting, buy her lunch. Didn't get a chance, did I? Because you gave him...
It's good joy I didn't leave it to you, because you say it when we're on our way.
150 English pounds.
Yeah. And
which is not money daft as a brush lad should be carrying around in his hand on his first ever trip to town.
No, it was
like a Home Alone film.
Well, it was initially going to be 50 quid, because I thought, you know what?
That's plenty.
Yeah, but then, because he had mentioned that she was buying some clothes and doing a bit of shopping, and I thought, well, we'd said to him at some point we'll take him out shopping and get him some clothes from here and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, if he sees that stuff yesterday, while he's with her, then, you know, he's going to need the money. So I said, here's the extra. If you see some clothes and stuff, get it. However, if you don't spend it, give it back.
Yeah.
So that's the
off
reason.
He went with half my bank account in his pocket, and which is not too far from true these days. And we sat in the train station car park, not to make sure he was safely on the train, but just to have some Quorn sausage rolls, because we'd been to Asda for the first time.
That's it. Because we've been in isolation, we've not done it, so it was excitement for us just getting to go into an English supermarket.
And what we always do in our hire cars is turn the glove box on Laura's side into a mini larder full of vegetarian food that we can't get back home. So we did that.
Yep.
And the weather was really overcast. It was kind of trying to rain.
Yeah, it was there.
And it's just me, you and Betsy, the three amigos. Betsy Pearl, our little one.
And we gave her a little choice of a few different places.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Come here. Right, we're just walking past beach. Tell me what you see, Laura.
Oh, is it the wild swimmers?
It's a bunch of wild swimmers. It's like Last
I think
Marigold
we've missed
Hotel.
them. They've all got the towels on. You know, the towel robes with the hoods and everything.
There's about
and I
14.
just see one lady pulling her knickers down from underneath.
That's not how we're asking you to look at. It's a bunch of old women, big old women. Like a Beryl... What were her name who did them paintings at Big Women?
I don't know.
Beryl Reid.
But they've got a club.
Yeah. That's a film in the making. Helen Mirren, Julie Walters, the Wild Swimmers Association, the Calshot Wild
Women.
Yes, exactly. Anyway.
So Betsy got the choice, and she decided we were going to go to the New Forest Wildlife Centre.
Which I'd blanked out.
Park.
We've been before. I've got no memory of it. You're trying to describe it to me and I'm like, nope, don't get it. We drove down there, and it's in the middle, as it sounds, of the New Forest. It's beautiful, and compared to most everywhere we looked is over 100 quid for 3 people to get in.
Yeah.
Paulton's Park, places like that, and it's bad weather. You're not going to have that much fun. Seems like a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost as much as she's given Leo to walk round town.
All right.
New Forest Wildlife Park. Betsy Pearl, I thought to keep her, what do you call it? To keep her
Occupied? Keep her concentration.
Interested.
Yeah.
I said to her, you should take photographs to show Nanny and Grandad. So that was it. She was
on it. She took a couple of good ones too.
Yeah. And we saw, look, I'm not going to list the animals, that's even more boring than this podcast normally is. But we had a lovely walk around. It's in these trees that must be 100 foot high.
Yeah.
Pine trees. The place is great. We saw all manner of things. I think, what would you say was the most exotic animal that we saw down there?
Oh, exotic. Not sure, but my favourite was the 2 otters.
Brilliant.
Cuddling up each end.
Yeah.
They look really...
Well, you said a 69.
Well, I did, but...
Yeah. My favourite and most exotic was, again, Latin, for those of you who know it, Familus Chavus.
Oh, yeah.
The place was not deserted, but there was a few, I always like to call them middle class couples. They'd got the right kind of cagoules on.
Yeah.
They'd got the proper baby carriers, the papoose and all that. Ethically sound baby foods, but there was a chav family. Nothing wrong with that. We're in England. But anyway, good time was had by all. Then it started getting really threatening with the weather. So we headed over to Lyndhurst, where we've stayed before.
Yeah, you love Lyndhurst, don't you?
I do. And we went to our favourite cafe in the world, the Greenwood Tree Cafe.
Yes, it's they've always got a really big menu, but also they have a lot of veggies and vegan stuff. So
Bit of a shocker for you on that menu, though.
Oh yeah, do you know? Because I'd not had my morning coffee,
Yeah.
so I was excited because I was going to have a coffee with Baileys.
That was on the menu. Now we spoke to the owner, part owner, whose daughter, I think, was running it with partners, and she's bought them out.
Yeah.
And we had a lovely chat to her. Her son's just gone off to university, you know.
It sounds like a lot of boys are like Leo.
Yeah, he sounded just as useless. So yeah, had some nice food. He did a bit of a chip advisor in there for the dirty vegan fries.
Dirty, yes.
We had a lemon drizzle and a coffee cake.
And then BP wasn't feeling
She
too
took a
great.
turn, didn't she?
Well, do you know, I think she had a migraine because Betsy suffers with migraines, which is a shame for someone so young, but she does. And because the weather was very, like
close.
Yeah, it was very close, and I could feel the pressure myself. So, yeah, I think she had a little bit of a migraine. So we thought we better head off.
Yeah.
Not without stopping in a couple of...
Went into a couple of charity shops, didn't find any records, guys, no more vinyl. And there's a brand new record shop in the middle of Lyndhurst on the high street, bang opposite Greenwood Tree Cafe, called Black Star Records. Now, Black Star, of course, David Bowie's final album. The shop was mint. Really well done inside. Trendy, cool, vintage looking. But he had a lot of David Bowie pictures up, didn't he? Posters and stuff.
Yeah, he did, but so overpriced.
25 quid to starting price for a record these days.
Yeah, even the ones that weren't new, like...
Yeah. Well, the vintage box, which you'd think could be twaddle.
And he just got them from the charity shop next door for £1.
He's charging 40 quid plus for them. But anyway, it was nice to be in a record shop again. I popped to get Betsy some Calpol. We gave it to her. She passed out in back at car.
Yeah.
We just went for a little drive through country. Lorra googled dogging hotspots. Now that's not a lie.
Right, can we make this clear? Not for us. It was just curiosity.
That's how it starts.
No, because I would imagine, knowing the forest folk, and the fact that there are so many little, places to pull your car up in the forest, I would imagine there'd be quite a few around it. The top 25, there wasn't any actually. They were a bit further out. So
one of our annoying family traits, if you ever get to be in a car with us, is every time we see a couple of parked cars anywhere in New Forest, we all go, doggers.
Yeah, we went to... Now, can you remember the name of it?
Yeah, we went through a place called Blackfield, which is where Gay Lay saw the floating pipe, her first Premier League bull bleeper story. See, I'm calling it bull bleeper because I ain't got time to edit. Anyway, through Blackfield, it's called Blackfield, yeah?
Yeah.
To a place called King's Copse, which you go over a cattle grid.
Yeah.
And you need it because the minute you get over it, there are 100 cows.
There was. Yeah. I don't remember seeing that many before, but there was cow aplenty.
And you go from being in a little town, little village, to immediately being in countryside. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And
you'd been wanting to find a rope swing, hadn't you?
Yeah. Because I want the kids to try it. Look, they've done Conkers,
Well, that's the only one I could remember. I'd remember as a kid going to that one. I think I was in guides or something, and when you have to do like get the egg across the river without it, so I do remember that one. So that was the only place I could think of.
But the only reason we'd done it is so Betsy could have a go.
Yep.
And we didn't think she'd be well enough, so we sat in car, getting worried by cows coming around the hire car. And then suddenly Betsy just sits up from asleep and just goes, right, I'm better, let's go. And immediately. So we walked down to this little bridge, 100 yards from car park, and we got on the swing. Now I couldn't get on it, it was very close to the water.
It was a bit of a thin string as well.
It looked like climbing rope.
Yeah.
But there's no way I were doing it. Lovely little brook it was going across.
Well, I went first.
You had a go?
Yeah.
Betsy was terrified, by the way, which surprised me. You had a go. You see this on my Instagram stories if you're quick today, or it's in the Isolation Diaries folder. Your bum was inches off the water.
Was it?
No, you're not heavy, but there's a bit of give in that branch. And you swung forward a couple of times. Really proud of you. And then once Betsy saw that it could be done, she got on and had a go, and she screamed and laughed, and for me, perfection.
Yeah.
That she did that. So we're close to the house now, so we're going to wrap up. But next thing we did is went and collected Leo, who not only had got a train by himself in the morning and walked around a big city on his own without getting into any Macaulay Culkin scrapes.
Put his big boy pants on.
Big boy pants on. New one to me. We'd given him the option of getting a train or ferry back.
Yeah.
He ended up getting the Hythe ferry back from, which I kind of twisted his arm to do, and he didn't know how to pay for it, so he blagged it and ended up telling the guy on the boat, I don't know what I'm doing. And the guy luckily the guy was nice enough to take his money.
Apparently he even said, I feel sorry for you, go on. Yeah.
And then he came walking, we waited in Hythe for him and watched his boat come in, very excited parents. And as he walked down the pier, which is 640 metres, that pier, I've looked it up now.
Of course you have, yeah.
And on Southampton Water.
Yeah, right.
He walked down and we spotted him. And as we walked round to meet him, Betsy went running up like excited. And he shrugged her off. What a little bleeper. He shrugged her off because he's trying to act like, I'm just out, I've just got out, what's the matter? I've just been to town. Anyway, for the next half an hour, he's regaling us with stories about his new flatmate, where she's from, what she does and all this. It's not a romantic thing, he's got a girlfriend and he's very straight with that.
Yeah, no, they had a nice time.
But they had a great time. She was an hour late.
Yeah.
We need to do this on another podcast.
Kids these days, yeah.
Not even kids these days, late people. I can't swear on this one because I don't have time to edit it, but you all know what you are. And if you don't, I'm telling you. But yeah, he had a great time. He was so excited, he was buzzing. He won one of his new freebie jackets.
Yes.
And then we came home, and then we go out for our exercise walk in the evening. We all put his exercise gear on. He wears the jacket again, right? And then we come back and have nibbles and do a quiz, a virtual pub quiz with your parents, which were good fun.
Yep.
They beat us by a point last night, which was disappointing.
No. On the tiebreaker.
Oh, tiebreaker, yeah.
Let's get that clear. It was a draw until that point, but it now does mean we're 1-1.
Yeah. Then Leo gets up and says he's going to bed. And I said to him, do us a favour, Leo, don't sleep in that jacket. 'Cause he still had it on.
I know. He said, well, he did say it was like warm. And I was like,
That is cute.
but yeah. Right, we're back.
We're back to the house. I think that'll do for yesterday. Sorry it's unedited. I've got more to tell you about air raid shelters and lookouts that I've learnt from your dad that are on our walk, but I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
As I said, we're off to Windsor Castle.
I'm going to try and get my coffee today before we go.
Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Stay in touch. Don't know if we'll be doing Chip Advisor from Windsor. Do they have chips at Windsor?
Well, I think we'll probably have a pub stop on the way home.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
See you later. Bye.
The end.